So at first, when we went on this cruise, we didn't book any excursion. We didn't want to go any, like, we just want to relax and enjoy warm sun. But then I remembered uh, about our friends told us, like, I heard so much about cenotes in Mexico. And I always thought, like, if I ever go to Mexico, I really need to experience it. And I started going through the excursions. What do they have? And I found for me, it was a little bit more interesting than cenotes. The excursion called the Secret River. And I'm so happy we did that excursion. Me and my husband, we loved it. And I would advise to everyone who cruise in that area, take that excursion. Incredible experience. It's something absolutely different from anything I experienced before. It's not just cenote. It's so, as our tour guide told us, these caves were discovered recently, like 20 years ago or something. So, and it's like very long underground caves and rivers going around, like a few kilometers, if not even more, I don't know, like tens of kilometers. They say that they still discovering ways where they go. They include rivers and some cenotes. So the excursion lasts the whole day. So early in the morning, we were picked up from the theater, and we had a large group. And I was thinking, like, it's gonna be crowded, but it was done smart way. So we arrived at the place. You are giving, like, if you have your own special shoes, like wet shoes, take them with you. Otherwise, you will be given everything, like wetsuit, shoes, helmet with the light, and a vest, you know. So at first I was upset that I wasn't allowed to take a camera. And I really wanted to make a video about this experience. But after, I was actually happy that I didn't take anything with me, because you really need to see where you're stepping. Like, you need to be really, really careful. Otherwise, you're gonna be falling. So listen to the guide. Don't take anything with you in your hands, like no phones, no cameras, no sticks, like nothing. It makes sense. But I'm a little bit ahead. So when you arrive to the place, you get dressed, you take shower, and then you take a little walk in a jungle, and you are divided in the groups. And you will be surprised. This underground excursion takes about an hour and a half, an hour, like 40 minutes. So all this time you'll be just with your group and with your guide. There will be nobody there around, despite the fact that there's so many people in our group all together. So it was around, I don't know, 5-7 people in our group, small group. So, like I said, when you arrive at your cave, and then you're following your guide. It's complete darkness. That's why you need light on your helmet. And the deeper and further you go, the darker it gets. But it's amazing. And so your guide talks about the stalactites, stalagmites, the history of these caves, you get to walk through the water. You get some places to swim. Some places are really deep, really deep. You have to like really swim there, and you enjoying the quietness of the caves, the beauty of the color of the water because of the microorganism that lives in the water. Some places it's always something different, and they also ask you not to touch the stalagmites and stalactites. They try to keep it like as original as possible. So again, and also you can get a stick, walking stick. If you're not sure, take a walking stick. I didn't fall that many times, but some places, like when you're not allowed to touch around you or grab something, it's better to have a stick. Don't go to this excursion if you have bad knees, bad back, if you can't bend much, because there's some narrow places you need to really like bend and almost crawl. If you have like arthritis, depends. My feet actually hurt a little bit after, because like I used my feet a lot. I was like almost like grabbing to the stones when I was walking. But shoe helps. They're not that slippery. So like I said, it's not just a 5-minute experience, it's a long experience, and you're guided through all these caves and this secret river. Incredible experience. So I suggest to everyone who are in Mexico, going to Mexico, if you've never been there, try this excursion. So that's done. That's been really nice. So our next stop was Roatan. And Roatan, I know of, it's really good snorkeling. So I was looking forward. We didn't book any excursion in Roatan, so we went. And when we arrived, right at the, so it was docking, and it was beach right next, like, to our ship. And I realized that this beach is for the cruisers only. So there were two cruise ships in port. So we spent a few hours on the beach. I went a little bit of snorkeling. It was actually very nice. There was just a couple of like big corals there, and around these corals there was like very nice fish swimming around, so it was cool. So we had a great time. It was nice, warm, and there is like a little, when you walk to the ship, when you walk to the beach or back to the ship, like there are a few options. You can walk straight, like on a path across the bridge, and you arrive to the beach. Next to this path, there is like they call it natural path. So I suggest you take it. It's a little like a hiking sort of, because it's going like a little bit up and down, but it's beautiful. You feel like you're inside the jungle. It's lots of greenery. It's like, but then again, you walk in like in a jungle, and then they made like a little mist. You feel a little bit cooler because it was hot. It was hot. And the third option, you can take a cable car. It's like a little tiny small drive, but I mean it's hot, and maybe like, and it's fun, but you need to, like, there is a lineup back and forth. But while you're standing on a line, there is also like a nice cool mist going on. Nice detail. So when you are on a beach, there are lots of places to eat, lots of little restaurants. Also, we didn't come early, so all the places under the trees, like in the shade, were taken, but we managed to find some place. It's busy because there was, like I said, two ships in a, so yeah, it was lots of people. The water is amazing, warm, clear, clean. Again, when you swim, you don't want to get out. You just get in, and we don't sit actually like on the beach very rarely. We usually swim a lot. So that was our next stop in Roatan. Next stop, next day was Belize. At first, I didn't want to do anything on Belize. I said, and it also, Belize is a tender port. And I mean, we never went to Belize city itself, but I've heard it's not the closest tender port. But anyway, we decided to buy an excursion. A day before, literally, we bought an excursion, and actually it was a good choice. Again, snorkeling. We like to snorkel. Almost our Caribbean cruise, we snorkel at least once or twice. But this time it was a little bit different. At first it was a boat ride. From our ship we went on this boat straight. First the theater, of course, and it was a big boat. It was a lot of people, and actually I forgot to mention that on Roatan it was the same. We went on a boat to our place of destination. But you know what? It was so good that I already forgot that it was a long drive. So about 40-45 minutes. Then we arrived to the very, very small island. Very small island. So when you arrive there are some people there. So basically, island is so small, so there are like just few groups of people can be there. It's that small. So when our group from our ship arrived to this island, again, we were separated to a few smaller groups. So we were given a mask, a flipper, a tube, of course. I made a mistake. I didn't take mask and a tube. I used mine. Mine was so bad. I bought it on Amazon before our cruise. The worst mask ever. I should have bought like this, the big one, the one solid one. I would be feel better. But anyway, so when we were equipped and when they told us about all the safety stuff and what to do and what not to do, also of course in the safety vest, we followed our guide into the water, and then we started and looking around the corals, and actually our guide was very nice. He not just led us to the destination, but also it's very short swim from the island. Also he was diving, showing us little starfishes or some interesting corals. There are different kind of corals out there. He was telling us about the name and what they how they look, and which one are they're poisonous. So it was actually very nice. There was one guide and some other person that helping him, and also person on a boat, on a kayak, just in case, just in case you're tired, you don't want to swim, or you're he will take you off the water. And we spent there again decent amount of time in the water, almost an hour. So it was nice good swimming, snorkeling. Then when you get out of the water, you could continue swim off the island, but not the snorkel, just to swim. And also there is this food. It was the only disappointing thing, because on a description of this excursion they said that food is included, But on our way to that island, they were telling us that you have to pay extra for different kind of food, and they so you have to choose what kind of lunch do you want, and they will prepare it for you while you're snorkeling. Not a big deal. I don't know how much they asked. I understood it's not that expensive, but like, I mean, we weren't hungry. We had a good breakfast, and also, like, we were coming back to the ship, and enough food, you know, like we weren't starving, so we figured we'll survive without extra food. But the whole experience was very nice people. We, like, they were telling, not, we weren't bored, like they were telling some stories on our way back to the ship, you know, we had fun. They were giving you water, as much as water you want. So very nice people, and very nice, very good organized. The excursion itself and the company itself, basically we were happy, nothing bad about it. There also, like, next to us there were some different excursions from different ship, I believe. They were fishing, and everything they fished that day, it was cooked right after their excursion, and you know, they had lunch with what they caught. Also very interesting. So while we were resting after our excursion and waiting for our boat to get back to the ship, there was a huge eel swimming around. I guess he was picking up that the guy was cleaning the fish, and he was picking up everything what was thrown in the water. And then there is the ray came in also. So yeah, it was very nice experience. I loved it. It was very calm, you know, nobody was bugging you with anything. If you want to rest, you rest. If you want to relax, you relax. If you want to swim, you swim. Like, nobody was, we weren't rushed in any way. And then at the end of everything, when people had lunch and rest, we went back to the boat and went back to the ship. They went by very fast. So that was our Belize excursion. And then it was a sea day. So our next stop was Costa. That's the only one place we didn't go off the ship at all. At first we were planning to go off, just, you know, to take a walk and see around what they have on but then, you know, it was so hot. Not complaining, but the sun is brutal. So we figured we'll better stay on the ship and go around the ship. Less people when you know, somewhere, because lots of people go off again and go on excursions, so you have a chance to just go around the ship and discover maybe some places you haven't discovered yet, you know. So that's what we did. We walked around the ship, took some pictures. I'll show, there are some nice pictures were taken, good memories. And so then after our last few days in sea, very nice, we enjoyed it, we loved it, very relaxing, very I can't find another word, just, you know, we were enjoying ourselves. It's the weather was beautiful, just sitting on a balcony or going around or having a cocktail, you know, like no rush. The best holiday ever, best vacation. So our last day, we had to pack. Usually we take our suitcases with us. We don't put them outside the evening before. we on the last day we just go have breakfast, take our suitcase, and go as like freely off the ship. So this time we decided that we will do this pack before in the evening, put our suitcases in a corridor before 8 p.m. So next day we're free to go. It's a little inconvenient because you have to pack everything, and basically for dinner I wore the clothes that I wore next day for this embarkation. And another thing, we bought an excursion to Houston Space Center. And this excursion is very, very convenient because after the excursion, you go back to the bus, and bus will drive you to an airport. And it's very, very convenient for us because you don't have to drag your suitcases with you. Your suitcases stay on the bus, and you spend like an hour and a half, 2 hours in the Space Center. Explore the Space Center. We went everywhere around. We got on a shuttle, and then you can take like a little, I don't know, like a tram and go and see the rocket park, I think they call it. So we enjoyed ourselves. So there was two good things in one, that we were driven to the airport with no hustle and bustle, and also we visited the Houston Space Center, which is also like, I don't know, very interesting place to visit and lots to see. Unexpectedly, I didn't expect it to be that interesting. So that's about our excursions and the ship. Like I said, we enjoyed it a lot. We loved the atmosphere, the people, the food, the cocktails. It was very welcoming atmosphere, very cozy, smiley. So I hope you liked this video about our adventures. I hope you liked our video about our cruise. Please leave a comment. I really want to grow this channel, and I want to talk about many things. I have lots of plans. So I'll see you in my new video.